In the previous class, we have seen about the EMF equation, construction of a transformer as well as EMF equation, right?
Yes, sir.
So this EMF equation, that I will just write down the EMF equation once again today. So the induced EMF E1, that is E1 stands for EMF induced in the first
primary coil.
Primary
Winding.
Primary coil, right? So one minute. Primary coil. So E1 is given by what is the formula?
4.44 into 5m.
F
into 5.
5N1. 5M.
5 maximum. So where 5 maximum is a B
maximum into
area of cross section of the core. Similarly, E2 is
4.44
0.44 into F into N2 into
5M.
5M, right? So we can write E1 by N1 is equal to 4.44 Fn1, and that is also equal to E2 by N2, that is also equal to 4.44 F. Sorry, not N1.
5 max.
5 max.
5 max.
This is 5 max. 5 max and 5 max. Okay. So therefore, we have E1 by N1 is equal to E2 by N2, and that is written as N1 by N2 is equal to E1 by E2. So this E1 by this ratio N1 by N2 is equal to E1 by E2, or in other words, sorry, N2 by N1 is equal to E2 by E1 is equal to K. So this is 1 by K, right? So this K is called a transformation ratio. Very, very important when transformer is concerned. K is called transformation ratio of the transformer. Okay. So here E2 by E1. What is E2? Induced EMF of secondary. Okay. So E1 is a same induced EMF of primary, right? So these are different from the applied voltage. If I draw the transformer symbol here, I will be able to explain you the difference between applied voltage and the induced EMF. So in the beginning, I told you that you will have self-induced EMF. We are having self-induced EMF as well as mutually induced EMF, right? So self-induced EMF, E1 is the self-induced EMF. E1 is a self-induced EMF in the primary coil, whereas this V1 is a applied voltage to the primary. Okay. Similarly, E2 is a induced EMF. right? This is mutually induced EMF. E2 is induced because of the current that is flowing in the primary. Okay, or something related to primary has caused an induced EMF in the secondary. Okay, so the E2 is induced because of the current flowing in the other coil. That's why it is mutually induced EMF. Okay, similarly, E1 is a EMF because of the current flowing in winding 1. Okay, so E1 is a self-induced EMF as of now. But once we close the transformer, we will have both E1 and E2, the components of self-induced EMF as well as mutual induced EMF. Clear? Okay, now here, that means if I close the transformer with a load, right? You will have I2 flowing. So this I2 causes some induced EMF in the secondary as well as some induced EMF in the primary. Okay, how I2 can cause induced EMF? Because I2 produces time varying flux. This time varying flux causes, according to Faraday's law, induced EMF. So whatever the conductor that is linked by the time varying flux, in that conductor you will have induced EMF. So I2 is time varying, so it produces time varying flux phi 2. So that phi 2 will induce self-induced EMF in the secondary coil and mutually induced EMF in the primary coil. Similarly, I1 is also a time varying current because these are all AC currents, right? So I1 is also a time varying current. It can cause induced time varying flux. So this time varying flux links primary winding as well as secondary winding. So in the primary winding, the corresponding EMF is self-induced EMF. In the secondary EMF, the corresponding EMF is a mutually induced EMF. So there will be always mutual induction between these two windings. Okay, so these two lines represent a core that I have already explained. So now here actually these windings will have some losses. Okay, so if losses are neglected, then we can write V1 by V2 is equal to E1 by E2. So therefore, V1 by V2 is equal to N1 by N2. So that means we can write K is equal to V2 by V1 also. Okay. Now, because we have neglected losses are neglected. So we can write one more point here. If losses are neglected, what happens is neglected, then V1 I1 input power is equal to V2 I2 because there is no loss. So whatever the input energy you feed to the transformer, the same energy it is going to deliver at the load. So therefore we can write V2 by V1 is equal to I1 by I2. So therefore K is equal to I1 by I2. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so you can keep these in mind. Okay, so many times we will be using this K everywhere. Transformer means K, transformation ratio. Okay, so here we have seen till now we have seen the EMF equation and the transformation ratio of the transformer and different variables related to this transformation ratio. Now let us solve a simple problem. Okay. So note down this problem. right? A single phase transformer has 1-5 stands for single phase. Okay, T/F transformer has 400 primary and 1000 secondary turns. The net cross sectional area of the core is 60 centimeters square. If the primary winding be connected to a 50 hertz supply, at 520 volts, calculate the peak value of flux density in the core. Second, the voltage induced the secondary winding. So let us see the solution. What is the data given? Have you noted down the problem? Take 1 minute and note down the problem. So the given data is N1 400, so you should not write N1 N2 like this. We will write in the words primary number of turns N1 is equal to 400, secondary winding turns N2 is equal to 1000. So K is equal to how much? N2 by N1, that is 1000 by 400. This is how much? 2.5. So it is unitless. K is a unitless. So what is the what is given? Other data given is what?
The primary winding is connected to 50 hertz supply, sir.
Frequency supply F is equal to 50 Hertz and
Voltage is
At
520.
520 volts.
primary voltage applied. Okay. Applied primary voltage V1 is equal to 520 volts. And cross section area of the core
60 centimeters square.
60 centimeters.
60
Centimeter.
square, but standard SI standard, so international standard, so it should be converted into meter square, right? 60 into 10 power, how much?
That's 4.
Minus 4 meter square, right? Okay. What else? Now that is given. We have to find out what to find out.
Peak voltage of flux density.
So 5 maximum, B maximum.
5 maximum.
Flux density or flux?
Flux
Flux
density, sir.
Flux
5
density
max.
B max. Second one
B2.
E2, right? So first one, if you see, because already it is given, E1 N1 is given, right? N1 and 2 given, E2 is given. Sorry, E1. This is a V1 is given. Assuming the transformer as lossless, we have V1 is equal to E1. So therefore, E2 by E1 is equal to K. So that implies ET is equal to KE1. So that is 2.5 into 520. How much is it? Tell me the value. So this is second one.
So
Actually,
1300, sir.
1300 volts. Okay. So next one. Maximum flux density, right? So we have E1 given by E1 is equal to 4.44 F N1
5
P
max.
maximum A, right?
Yes, sir.
P maximum A is flux 5 maximum, right? So this is 520 into 4 is equal to 4.44 into 50 into turns. Primary turns are how many? 400, right? 400 into P maximum into 60 into 10 power minus 4. So B maximum is equal to 520 divided by or tell me this value, B maximum.
So
Hello.
0.975. 975.
0.975 Webers per meter square. So this is a EMF induced in the secondary, and this is a flux density in the core. So 0.975 Webers per meter square. So that is the flux density present in the core because of the primary current as well as secondary current. Now that is primary flux and secondary flux. Okay. Is it clear? Is there any doubt in this?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
So next we will see another problem. So do you remember what is the topic of next topic in your syllabus? If you see that answer, if you're going to solve a problem, losses and efficiency, right? Okay. So before that, we'll have to solve another problem. Out of this problem, a 25 kVA transformer has 500 turns on the primary . Okay, in the previous problem, the transformer is step up transformer or step down transformer?
Step up.
Step up only, right? Because the secondary voltage is greater than the primary voltage. So 50 turns on the secondary. Winding. So the primary is connected to 3000 volts. From a 50 hertz supply. You find the full load primary and secondary currents. Comma the secondary EMF and the maximum flux in the core. Okay. So neglect leakage drops and no load primary current. Okay. So note down the given data. kVA of transformer is equal to 25. So I will explain what is kVA. So kVA is nothing but V into I by 1000. gives KVA. It is same on both primary and secondary. Okay, so that is a KVA is equal to V1 I1 by 1000. That is equal to V2 out I2 by 1000. Ideally, that means in writing V1 I1 is equal to V2 I2, we have already neglected the losses. Okay. So, because actually we consider this like this, because transformer is a very efficient device. This machine is very efficient. Its efficiency is above 95%. Okay. So highly efficient. Normally transformer is normally highly efficient, and its efficiency is a minimum 95%, and up to 98% it will have its efficiency. 95 to 98. Some lossy transformers, more losses means it will have 92%, 93%, 90% efficiency like that. So no other machine you can see this much efficient. While you are solving the problems, we can find you will have losses. In the DC machine also we found the efficiency of the DC machine 70%, 85%, maximum 85% they can go. More than that, no machine will give you 85 efficiency as much as the transformer does. Okay. So transformer, so very efficient machine. Okay, its efficiency is between 95 to 98%. Okay. So out of all the electrical machines, transformer is the most efficient. Right. Next, what is the next data given? Primary turns and secondary turns, right? Primary winding turns
500.
500. Secondary winding turns is equal to
50.
50. Next, the primary is connected to 3000 volts, right? So V1 voltage, applied voltage. Anta voltage ichamo. volts. Supply
Frequency is 50 Hz.
frequency F is equal to 50 hertz. Okay. Right. What to find?
Full load, primary and secondary current.
Full load, primary and secondary currents. That is I1 and I2 is equal to how much? Second one, secondary EMF and the maximum flux in the core. E2 is how much? Third, 5 maximum. How much? Okay, so full load primary and secondary current. First one, let us solve. Primary current. So we have KVA is equal to V1 I1. That is how much KVA is given? 25. So 25 is equal to, sorry, this is by 1000, right? So 25 is equal to V1 is how much? 3000 into I1 by 1000. That implies I1 is equal to 25,000 divided by 3000. So 25 by 3 amperes. How much it is? Is it
8.33.
huh?
8.33.
Right? 8.33 amperes. So next E2 induced EMF. Secondary induced EMF E2. So we can neglect neglecting losses. We have V1 is equal to E1. Okay. So therefore we have N2 by N1 is equal to E2 by E1. That is N2 is how much?
50, sir.
50 by 500. So 50 by 500 is equal to E2 by E1 is how much? That is equal to V1. Right? So V1 is 3000. 3000. So that implies E2 is equal to 50 into 3000 divided by 500.
300.
So E2 is equal to 300 volts. Is clear?
Yes.
Now what is the next one? Third one. 5 maximum. So how can we find 5 maximum? The cross section area of core given? Not given.
So even, sir, even.
Is only he is asked. So we can simply write E1 is equal to 4.44 F N1 5 maximum. So that implies 5 maximum is equal to E1 by 4.44 F N1. So that is equal to 5. E1 is 3000, right? So 4.44 multiplied by F is 50. N1 is N1 is how much? 500. So ఎంత బాబు 5 అమ్మ? It is
0.027.
20 milliwebers.
Sir,
1 minute, please. So this is how we have to solve simple problems on transformer. Is it clear?
Sir, we forgot to calculate.
Sir, I2, sir. You
I2.
forgot to calculate I2, sir. In the first question, full of the primary current.
Oh, I2, okay, right. Same problem. So same, similarly we can find out. That is here itself. I2 is also equal to what? KVA is equal to V2 I2 by
V2 by 1000.
I2 is equal to V2. How much we got? 300. Okay,
83.3.
83.3 amperes. So clear?
Yes, sir.
So in the syllabus, we have the next topic as uh, losses and efficiency. Next, open circuit test and determination of efficiency. Okay. And later we have three-phase induction motors. So transformer will quickly close and then go to three-phase induction motor. Okay. Just we'll see losses and efficiency. So transformer, the transformer is a very efficient machine. It has losses. The losses are, first one is a copper loss. Second one, iron loss. So only there are copper loss and iron loss. There is no mechanical loss. That means that is no friction loss, because there is no rotating part in a transformer. Okay. So transformer has a no rotating part, only two coils. So you will have a copper loss and iron loss only. So you are having copper windings both in HV and as well as LV windings, high voltage winding and low voltage winding. And iron core is there, right? And the flux is produced by the sinusoidally varying currents. So the flux is varying. So the core is subjected to the variations of the flux. You will have iron loss, both hysteresis as well as eddy current loss. Okay, right? And so iron loss is having a eddy current loss as well as hysteresis loss. So copper loss is a primary winding copper loss and a secondary winding copper loss. Okay. So that is the total losses, right? So here efficiency of the transformer. How do we define efficiency of transformer? Efficiency of transformer is equal to output power divided by input power, right? So percentage efficiency is equal to output power is how much? V2 E I2 cos phi 2 divided by V1 I1 V1 I1 cos phi 1. So percentage efficiency, what is this cos phi 1 phi 2 cos phi 2, or what is this phi 1 and phi 2, we will see. Okay, percentage efficiency is V2 I2 cos phi 2 by, so this is V2 I2 cos phi 2 plus copper loss plus iron loss multiplied by 100. Okay, so today this is the efficiency, how we define, or the formula for the efficiency. So in the next class we will see the losses, the calculation of efficiency, what is this power factor in detail. Okay, so if you have any doubts you can ask, else it is already 12:52. We can end the session. You have any doubts?
No, sir.
No one is having a doubt, right? Thank you. So in the evening from